Hello from gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and on this lovely sunny end of March spring day we've come out to the garden to propagate some echeverias or echeverias, and we're going to do it from leaf cuttings. Okay, so welcome to my garden, Douentza, and in front of me, as you'll see, we have a couple of echeveria plants, and I'm going to propagate some of them from leaf cuttings. So let's just take a quick look at these first. And I just want to say that propagating from leaf cuttings is an excellent way to get more echeveria stock. But just a word to the wise, variegated forms like this Echeveria Compton's Carousel, while you can propagate them from leaf cuttings, they don't maintain the variegation. So try if you like, but you're not going to get the variegation as in the mother plant, so that's a bit useless because that's what we grow that one for. Other forms like this one here, what is this? This is affinis, Echeveria affinis, work very well, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to select some good leaves to propagate from. Now I want a leaf that isn't too old and withered, something that's fairly young looking. Now I think what I'll do is I'll say go about here, halfway up the rosette, and I will just break off that leaf as close to the trunk of the plant as I can, and hopefully not damage the plant as well, because okay, right, that's the way not to do it, because as you can see I've actually broken the leaf in half. Right, let's put that down there, and let's try further down here at the base. Now see that leaf there? That's a nice leaf, even though it is at the base and is therefore older, but it looks in good shape. So I'm going in here and I'm going to try and nip out the leaf as close to the base as possible. Okay, now that's good. See that? So we are going to try with that one. Let's get another couple of leaves, and trying again not to spoil the look of the plant. I'm going to try this one here at the base. Nice healthy looking leaf. There we go. That came off nice and easy. And we'll just take 4. So turning the plant around here. Look at this one. It's kind of overshadowing this other rosette. So I'm going to take that out to kind of just help with the look of the plant. There we go. That broke a little bit. Not ideal, but we'll, I don't know. I don't think I'll try it. I think I'll discard that one. Here we go. This one is going to be easier. See what I did last time there? There's a bit of the echeveria leaf still in place. Okay, that's better. Okay, 3's enough. 3's the lucky number. These are the ones we're going to propagate with. Right, so what we're going to need for this particular method is a plastic container with shallow sides and a tissue paper and some water. Now this is just regular kitchen tissue, which I'm going to fold into quarters like this, and then what I'm going to do is moisten it. Okay, so I am going to pour water on it like that, and it filtrates out, as you can see, and I'm just going to squeeze it slightly to remove the excess and unwrap it like this, and place it at the base of my plastic container. And I'm just going to fold down the edges so that we don't have the tissue along the edge of the container. And then what I'm going to do is just place my little leaves here like that, upright, with their base on the moist tissue. Now what you can do is actually wait for a day or two for the leaves to callus over before you do that. And I might try it with these ones, but these ones, as you can see, have a lot of exposed tissue. So these ones I'll definitely leave to callus for a day or two before I place them on the moist tissue. And I'm going to leave them like that, and within a week or two what will happen is that they will begin to grow roots. Now, one little note: when you do this and you place them on top of the moist tissue, what happens is when you come down the next day the tissue is completely dry, so you're going to have to re-moisten it. You're going to have to keep an eye on this and re-moisten it, and you do that by just pouring a tiny little bit of water into the tissue, and it spreads out, and it works well like that. And you need to place it in an area, a shaded area with light, but certainly not in full sun, and probably not in the greenhouse as well. Okay, and here's a little something I prepared earlier. So this particular method of propagating echeverias I found works really well for me. And here's a little one I did even in the winter months. Now, having said that, I removed the leaves from a plant in the greenhouse and put them on the tissue, but I did bring the container into the house because these leaves need warmer temperatures to get going. And if we look here, can you see that? They're just beginning to put down roots, which is very welcoming. Now, another little note: when you come along one morning and find that these plants have roots, the roots will be kind of stuck into the tissue. Whatever you do, don't try and lift them up when the tissue is dry, because you'll just rip the newly grown roots off. Put a bit of moisture on it, leave it for an hour, and then you can remove the little plantlets. Okay, so these ones we're going to pot up now, and what I have here is a little pot with some potting mixture in it. Now, it's compost and a little bit of sand, but don't use just sand, because we have roots that have started to grow now, and they grew because of moisture, so we want them to get some moisture but not enough to actually rot them off. So we just water this and let it soak down, and that's probably a bit too wet. You're going to keep this soil at just moist normally, but we'll start it off like that. And then, so I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to place them like that on the compost. Now, they will grow and then they'll go down into the compost and form good solid roots that will take easily to being transferred to a potting mix. Okay, and I think even that one, even though there's only one root, I'm gonna try it just on here now. And this tiny little one here, which is very difficult because it keeps falling over. Okay, so I'm going to keep that in a nice warm place, again not in full sun, and give those roots a chance to go down into the compost. And then after a while what will happen is the roots will establish well, we'll get a small root ball, and the leaves will start to grow tiny little plantlets just at the base. And at that stage, you know you're in business. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed and found my video on echeveria or echeveria propagation useful, and that perhaps you'll try this method of damp tissue to get your echeveria leaves going at home. If you have any questions, jot them down below, and other than that, thank you very much for watching, and do check back again for lots more videos about plants and about propagation and about growing them. Bye!